Bible, in Scripture, there are good guys and bad guys. We all know that. But there are also bad girls. There are bad girls. And one of them is named Herodias, who we just heard about in this gospel passage from Mark. Herodias was the unlawful wife of King Herod and had formerly been the wife of Herod's brother Philip. But when John the Baptist denounced their adultery, their illicit relationship, she held a grudge against John and wanted him to be executed. Every once in a while, I think we discover something of Herodias in ourselves. We hold grudges. We keep score. We remember who slights us, and we wait for our moment to retaliate in such a way as to return in like manner. Injury for an injury, an insult for an insult, etc. We overreact and not allow ourselves time to just cool off and reflect. The proper attitude and action of a Christian, or any decent human being for that matter, is to overcome evil with good. In this case, by never attempting personal vengeance. Self-vengeance has no place in the Christian life. To repay evil with evil is to immediately lose the battle to evil. The only way to defeat evil is by doing good to the one who has done you harm. I know that's not easy to hear, that's not even easy to follow. But that's what Jesus calls us to do. In other words, if you really hate that person who has wronged you, well, then that person has won. We are not to give a place for wrath in our dealings with men, but rather give that place to God's wrath. Make room for divine retribution to operate. Our spite seldom has the tragic consequences of Herodias, who manipulates her own daughter's charms and her husband's boastful and arrogant behavior to destroy John the Baptist. But our grudges and bitterness hurt others. They devastate our families and divide our communities. John's martyrdom after Jesus' own crucifixion is probably the most horrifying episode in all of the Gospels. He is the victim of the arrogance and vengeance that he condemned in his preaching. In light of today's Gospel reading, we might consider the grudges that we hold against others and why. And consider a way to heal such rifts, or at least move beyond those grudges before it's too late. That is, before our Herodias-like obsession for vengeance destroys the good and holy in our lives. We need to just open our eyes to recognize the devastation our own hatred and the need for vengeance has on our lives and on the lives of families and friends. Do not let anger, and I like to emphasize this, do not let anger rule your heart, or your unmet expectations and disappointments erect walls between you and others. Anger, bitterness, grudges, they hurt us more than we know. Just let them go. Let them go. A good friend once told me, holding a grudge is just letting someone live rent-free in your head.
Thank you for joining us for the celebration of the Mass today. It's a blessing that you are with us. Every broadcast of this liturgy goes out to hundreds of people and hundreds of people all over the world. It's been an enormous blessing. If you'd like to support this virtual ministry of OLPH, please go to our website. You can support this ministry by going to Give Central so that we can continue to broadcast the liturgy each and every week. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Greetings from OLPH.